Hey guys, what's up? How's it going?
Hello. This is Easy Drawings, and today we're going to go over how to draw a Ninja Turtle, really generic Ninja Turtle, just in general. Ninja Turtles movies coming out of the shadows, right, and into the DVD bargain bin, I guess. I didn't really like the first one. I'm probably not going to watch the second one. Well, you know what? That's not true. If it gets good buzz, I will probably watch it, or I'll watch it on, streaming or something like that, or maybe. I like them on Netflix. So, but yeah, I'm not really fond of Ninja Turtles new movies. I like the old movies. I like the cartoon. I like what else? I even like the comics. I went to go see Kevin Eastman. Let me see. He was signing a few days ago. So, anyways, let's kind of get started. I want to go over the general kind of measurements of a Ninja Turtle, just kind of very generally, and we're gonna go through them. So. And I'm talking about like my version, which is essentially like just the classic version of the Ninja Turtles. When you draw a Ninja Turtle from the right side, like the head has this kind of Muppety kind of feel to it. It's very round. Hopefully you see this. Now, one thing I kind of take note of this is it kind of has this like almost like round kind of car feel. I think that lends to the kind of the attractiveness of their shape. The attractiveness of their kind of like them really is this kind of nice look that they have, especially the old ones. They have this cool look, whereas a lot of the ripoffs didn't. You know, if you were watching the Ninja Turtle cartoon, let's say around the '80s, or if you were, around back then, you would notice that there's a lot of ripoffs of the Ninja Turtles that I like, actually, but they're just kind of ripoffs. Like the Street Sharks, like Biker Mice from Mars, Battletoads, I think. There's just straight up ripoffs, like other teams of mutated creatures. And so, like, Street Sharks was my favorite one, and it was so strange, to see these gigantic monstrous things just kind of hang out and destroy the concrete. It completely destroyed the pavement, right? And it's supposed to be like friendly, and they're heroes somehow, even destroying everything as they go through the ground. And they're monstrous. Like that would never talk to a little kid. Ninja Turtles can talk to a kid and be like, "Oh, they're friendly," but those other things are disgusting. But they're awesome because I painted them once. They're really good. So, anyways, back the side of the Ninja Turtle. If it was looking in profile that direction. It's going to have this snout, it's got a massive kind of overbite. Very massive overbite. And that's also their nose. It's their nose, their snout, their everything. Their eyes are essentially just like human eyes. So when it turns that way, it's going to have that shape. I know in some of the earlier stuff they didn't have pupils, but pupils kind of humanize them. They tend to have that throughout the cartoon series. I even like that CG TNMT. That was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty neat. That CG movie. I know a lot of people hated it, but I was all right. I thought it was okay. I gotta see it again though. I only saw it once. And then right here, the tassels is something that you can fool around with. The tassels, you can make it short like that, which is I think in the '90s cartoon they mostly had them short, and they started extending them out to kind of like. Almost like this design where they go all over the place. Almost like, I don't know how to say it, like Batman-y. Even though Batman didn't have tassels like this, but more this cool, like ninja kind of length. But yeah, you can do either one. I personally like the cool ninja length thing. And you can just kind of like, essentially I'm trying to make that as random as I can. While it being like two pieces of cloth that are tied behind there, even though the reality is the tassels probably catch on to something. So that would be like kind of the head. The front is almost the exact same, right? You have that giant. And you see him, and honestly, it's not a good idea to draw these guys dead on, straight on. Because it just looks awkward and weird. And I know they take a note of that in animation to not do that. They actually take a note to draw them usually in 3/4 view, which is they're slightly to the left. That's why I kind of draw everything in 3/4 view. Also with the kind of bands around their head, right? You have this, it kind of conforms to their eye a lot as well. So if they're angry, well, first of all, let me make a regular. So that's kind of, well, so very little kind of left over on the top of the head. They don't have a lot of skull there. So let's just say this is him. This is either, you know, Raph or Donatello or one of them. When his eye goes up over here, let me see if that's on the page here. Yeah. When this goes up, let's say he's kind of like surprised or what? Let's say he's surprised. That band is going to pull up. That kind of colored band's going to pull up while the rest of it stays down. It's going to be for the brow, and it makes it look just better and more attractive when you do that. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to like show that that's that view right there. I'm gonna get different. Let's see. Let's see. Wow, does this work? Yeah. That's glowing. That's not good. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind when they change expression. That their whole band pulls up, not just that. Because some people just move the eyeball. I've noticed that's a common mistake. Some people just move the eye, and I guess there's really no mistakes when it comes to designs like this. But you know, I think it looks more attractive if you move the band, the entire band. With their body, really quick. Their body, there's something I've noticed about it. Their torso is obviously a turtle shell. Because of that turtle shell, let's say it's looking. Because of that turtle shell, there is an issue. There's an issue because they don't bend around as much as they could. Let me see. Let's say he's looking that way. Because of that turtle shell, the bending at the waist is kind of complicated, so they're not as dynamic as you would think. You just kind of have to like push it through with their legs. And let me put little octagons here. That's essentially what they have, little hexagons or octagons. You can make them even or uneven. I'm just gonna put them in kind of randomly and scattered right now. They're probably more like hexagonal right now. And they don't bend. What you do is when you bend them, it kind of bends like almost like you're bending a piece of bread. So when their torsos bend around, like I said, it has that shape to it. If you want to do the pectoralis as well, you can make their turtle pattern right here, pectoralis. That's very common. Let's say his head is over here somewhere. Let's say it's an empty turtle shell. But remember, just think of it like a bending bread. That's the way I think about it. Because the human torso obviously is different. It'll bend completely different. But that explains why sometimes you'll have these shots of them and they'll be like really stiff. I mean, they move well, like I said, but they don't like. That's the artist really moving them well. In reality, that's why. Look at the movies, you know. I'm talking about the old movies from the '90s. They'll move really strange because of that shell. It stops their hip from kind of pushing in. Let's kind of go into their hand. Their hand essentially is this, you know, and that's kind of what the guys in the outfits were like. You know, we're doing. They only have 2 fingers, so the way I like to think about it is a normal hand kind of peaks over here at the knuckle, the middle knuckle. This is just general stuff, right? Peaks the middle knuckle and goes down. So this is the middle knuckle right here. This is the other knuckle. This one for a human. And you have the opposing thumb coming out the side. Their hand's a little different, right? They have the same kind of similar peak, but the peak it's connected to two, so, and it's also wider at the end. So their hand's more like, and then they have the opposing thumb sticking out. So they have essentially just kind of the two finger thing with a gigantic end cap. Their feet are the same way. I don't think I need to go through the feet, but I will if it's possible. So, and you see that all the time with a foot soldier clan. Like they'll show like a foot, like human foot. So it's the same shape right here. It's got the same general shape. Like think of that shoe shape. You know, with a regular person, you'd have the 5 toes. But over here, it's obviously different. It's the same general shoe to heel shape. There's a peak at the end over here at the top, kind of the top end. Except you only have 2 giant kind of toes. So that would be like their footprint. Let me make that more clear. And let me see, what else is there to go through, really. That's kind of it, really. The weapons is kind of a whole other video. What I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to go through and just kind of draw a version of this for the Ninja Turtles. I'm going to just draw my own version, kind of using these things I just talked about. And alright, so I'm going to do that. That's going to be kind of a speed drawing, kind of back and forth. So let's kind of get into that now. Hello, how's it going? Oh, whoops. Anyways, let's get into this. Let's get into the Ninja Turtles. I'm going to be using this pencil. It's a Portfolio Aqua Sketch. It's just 6B. It's essentially just kind of graphite, just pencil. Trying to figure out a pose that I want for, and I'm just going to draw a generic Ninja Turtle, no weapons. I'm going to draw him with kind of a hunchback, a little bit, well, the shell, really. Not so much, it's like a hunch shell. Kind of drawing the pose out. Maybe I'll draw him in water. I kind of vaguely know the sweep of my pose already. It's going to be this kind of hunch coming out of the water kind of thing, maybe with his hands kind of gripped. I'm going to go in and continue drawing the shoulder here. I'm kind of trying to place everything first. And I kind of, like I said, already know the pose. Just trying to work certain mechanics out in the pose. Alright then, so I'm going to go in kind of speed drawing this, and then I'm going to come back and talk about it. Okay, so a lot of his pose is it's gonna be him kind of hunched over, and it's gonna be, I decided water. He's gonna be like maybe in the sewers or something. I purposely didn't put any weapon in his hand because I want it to be ambiguous as to which Ninja Turtle it is. I just want to, you know. But my favorite is Raphael. Raffi. What I'm doing right now is I'm kind of just kind of taking this fuzzy image and I'm trying to kind of sharpen it and shade it. You know, right here. It's like I'm adding flavor. Adding flavor to this thing. Flavoring. Add some flavor. I love that. But yeah, I'm adding a little bit of seasoning. I don't know what you call it. Whatever. Shading to this thing. Yeah, that's what I call it. So it's kind of it. I'm just kind of sharpening things as much as I can. And I'm going to continue. And I'll keep going and I'll keep talking after this. But let me continue. Alright, so I'm kind of at the point where I'm getting a pretty clear kind of vision of this. It's pretty clear. So what I want to do with the water is I'm just going to kind of wrap it around, and I'm going to make it very just kind of random, you know what I mean? The water is a lot of randomness. I also want to put a little bit of shadow here too, because he is kind of over it. He's looming over it. I'm going to throw a little bit of a thicker line right here because I want to show maybe some of the divisions within the shell. This is more of a pectoralis kind of thing. I might throw one across here in the middle. And that's pretty much it. Look, it's like he's holding the pencil. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. I will, oopsie, let me see, you can see the whole image. Thanks a lot, guys. If you guys like the video, please thumbs it up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make more of these. I'm going to make probably one of these a week. I'm going to probably upload I believe every Saturday. And the weekend's better for me. So every Saturday, check back for videos here. And I'll see you next time. Later.